Hello, this is DNA Evolved 115 coming back at you again with another video. As you guys know, the reveal trailer, not just the trailer, but also a little talk with the devs, has been put out for the Call of Duty Cold War Zombies. I know I'm a little bit late getting to this. However, keep in mind, I'm just one guy and I gotta record and edit everything, and then I also need to not kill myself because, I have a job that isn't YouTube, and just personal life is happening right now. I just got done with a bad breakup, and I was living with her, so I'm moving back in with my parents, and that's taking some time and stuff. However, let's focus on the positive things. It looks like Zombies is going to be killer this year. There's things in the trailer that I'm super excited about. There's some things that worry me, but it's more excitement than worry. Anyway, guys, let's get into it. Also, guys, if you do like my content, make sure to subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell, so that way you can know whenever I make a video. And maybe, just maybe, everyone will see what we're doing right here. To start things off, we're going to start talking about the storyline for Black Ops Cold War. It is going to follow the Aether story rather than the Chaos story that we saw in Black Ops 4. And it isn't a rewrite of the Aether story, and as far as we are aware, it isn't the theory that, it goes off of the split at the end of Black Ops 2, where you could choose Maxon or Richtofen. As far as we're aware, that is not what it is. Craig Houston said that canon is still canon, Black Ops 4 still happened, and our characters gave their lives to recondense the universes. And not only that, they also tried to get rid of zombies. Now, Craig Houston said they accomplished half of that. So, for now, the multiverse doesn't exist. We have one universe, and that's the one that is in Black Ops Cold War. But the zombies are still somehow in that universe. There's a whole lot of theories as to why this might be. I don't want to get too far into speculation, because sometimes when you get too far into speculation, the devs grab ideas from you, and then your speculation is exactly right because they like your idea better than their idea. And other times it's not good to speculate because, our expectations might be higher instead of lower. For example, how many of us speculated the Great War? And then we had a poisoning and a suicide in Black Ops 4. So I don't want to get too far ahead of myself in that case. It looks like it's going to be happening in the Dark Aether, and that's the same thing that Samantha and Eddie were walking through at the end of the Black Ops 4 portion that was added for the Aether storyline. So I don't want to go too far into speculation. It looks like there is a character named Sam who goes to the phone booth at the beginning of the trailer. And a lot of people are thinking that she is probably Samantha Maxis. And that is totally possible. I'm not sure if it is or not. For it to be Samantha Maxis, they would have to pull some stuff because the birth dates don't line up right. But even Raffle Waffles recently made a video explaining how it could be possible, if the Dark Aether time moves slower, or like, for example, OG Richtofen and Primus Richtofen aren't even the same age. And so you can explain it out. It will just take a little bit of explaining. So I'm excited to see where the story goes. I'm a little bit worried that they are calling it Aether to push copies rather than that there is a good connection to the Aether storyline. Now, I could be totally wrong, and I hope that I am, but just kind of a hunch. Now, Craig Houston did say that because it's part of the same universe, there's some things that don't want to stay in the old universes. I'm worried that they are mostly going to be kind of very unimportant things. However, I could be totally wrong about that. it could be very much involved stuff like that. It'd be really interesting if they find a way to spin Samantha, for example, especially if it's the fact that the dark ether moves slower in time, therefore she ended up in our time in the 60s when she was originally born in the 40s, so she'd be 10 years old. Yeah, so she has to be 20 years older than what she is in the original story. But I mean, with that, if that worked out, it'd be interesting to have one character in this universe that knows about the multiverse that used to be. Be really interesting to see, and we will see where that is going. Anyway, next up is gameplay, and let me tell you, there is a lot in gameplay that I think that really has a lot to offer for the zombies. At the same time, there's also a few things I'm worried about, but it's, like I said in the intro, way more excitement than I have worry, because I think that they learned their lesson from Black Ops 4 for the most part about making the game too easy. Now, as for the gameplay of Black Ops Cold War, honestly, the trailer looked pretty similar to Black Ops 4, just visually. However, there were a lot of the OG perk machines there, and so that, combined with the fact that the developers said that they made a return to classic gameplay, makes me think that we're going to receive something that is a lot more classic, that is the round-based survival we all love. And Jug is returning. However, it might not return in exactly the same way, but the machine is there and it looks extremely similar, except it has now been outfitted to dispense aluminum cans rather than bottles. So we will see how that plays out. I like the guns. Once again, we are going to like a Cold War era, so we're going to get to see some guns that are a little bit older, like maybe World War II type guns. There wasn't a ton of guns that were developed during the Cold War. However, we're going to see older guns. We're going to see some guns that are a little bit unrealistic, ones that were made in the 90s, but you can say were experimental during the 80s. So I think I'm going to like the weapon choice and such. One thing I'm super excited about that I saw is that there's now kill streaks in zombies that you can have. In the trailer, the guy literally calls in a chopper gunner. And it's great because we're in this new story, it's no longer 4 rogue individuals taking care of the zombie epidemic anymore. It's no longer, the stooges of one of our 4 rogues, cough, cough, Richtofen. It is an actual whole world that is dealing with it, even if they're having the Black Ops unit actually take care of it. And it'll be really interesting to see how this plays out. With that, it makes sense, though, that you would have military backing to take out the zombies. They might not be able to provide you as much as you want, but I mean, a sentry turret here, a chopper gunner there. I mean, for a zombie outbreak, you can expend whatever you can. So I'm going to be really excited to see how that plays out. And it looks like the wonder weapon is going to be really amazing. Shoots out this blue ball of just freeze everything and break it. And the map is a huge remaster of Nocturne and Toten. And I'm worried that this is the start of a trend that we saw in Black Ops 4 with the maps all being remakes. However, the Black Ops Cold War remake is gonna be way more stuff. It's gonna be kind of like the Nuketown from Black Ops 4, except to an even greater degree, where most of the map is new. There's some familiar parts, but most of the map is new. It's not gonna be like a Mob of the Dead, where there's 2 new areas, because the Warden's house and the area where you make the license plates, those were the only 2 new areas, basically. So it will be kind of interesting to see how that all plays out. I'm hoping that from here out we have original maps, and the maps are free this time around, so that's great. I mean, I never had money sinking money into zombies because I play it so much, but that's great. It's free. It saves me money. It saves you money. I'm sure they're going to have some other monetary system. They weren't talking about gobblegums or elixirs yet. However, you and I both know that there is probably going to be a system like that in the game. Now, all of this praise comes at a little bit of a cost, and here's my two worries. First of all, it looks like the perk system is going to surround more around the player. The perk system, it wasn't really explained super well, but basically you're going to be able to modify the way perks work. For example, I have Jug. Okay. What if they made it so that way for so much damage inside the game, you got an extra hit of damage up to a certain point? That'd be kind of cool, and it would give you something for each game. It'd be a little mundane to do it each game. However, I also am hesitant to move it to an out-of-game menu where, like, for example, you'll pay a currency that you earn in the game, which this might be where they make their money from for zombies, or at least some of it, is making it so that way you can buy perk modifiers with your in-game currency that you get from the zombies. Whether that be liquid divinium, nebulium, plasma. It'd be nice to see liquid divinium return, especially since I don't know how the zombies are going to exist without 115, and the mystery box is going to exist without 115. So 115 is still going to be there. It's just a matter of whether it's continued to be called divinium. Now, that was a slight tangent. However, let's return to another one of my worries, is that while I do think for the most part they learned from their mistakes in Black Ops 4, I'm worried they're also going to repeat some of them. For example, they were talking about how one of the things they want to do is provide the most choice going into the game, while still making it feel kind of arcadey, game per game. You know, how you did last game shouldn't affect how you do this game. And in Black Ops 4, that's kind of how it worked, because, you know, you didn't even have all the perks unlocked when you first started, meaning players that played longer had a huge advantage over other players. And I personally see weapon attachments as something that is kind of semi-minor. Weapon attachments really don't affect the game that much. They do, but they don't. So they said that there is a way to start the game with an assault rifle. And considering how Black Ops 4 had, where you would get the MOG shotgun, and from there you could just keep the MOG the whole entire game, I'm really worried about how that is going to end up. If you can spawn in with a gun that can carry you the whole game. Now, the system wasn't super explained well. I think that they're trying to explain and not explain at the same time. Especially they did this in Black Ops 4, you know, when they basically did not say that Jug was no longer going to be a perk until after most people had the game pre-ordered. And that's pretty crucial. I think that they wait to say the changes that they've made until after it's too late for you to get your refund. However, I think they learned their mistakes from Black Ops 4. There's a lot of people that are excited for this one. And I'm hoping that it kind of returns the community to a normal state, and that the toxicity of Black Ops 1, 2, and 3 versus Black Ops 4 kind of settles down, because they're all part of the Black Ops family. Obviously, I enjoyed 4 the least out of all of them. However, you know, it wasn't a horrible game. It's just a matter of it wasn't the best it could have been, and I think that disappointment, that expectation kind of killed it. I'm really excited to see what happens to Black Ops Cold War Zombies going forward. I'm also excited to see, because I know in the leaks there was a Zombies Warzone mode, and we might never even see that, but I'm also excited to kind of see if that does go anywhere. Anyway, guys, you have a good day, and I will see you next time.